Welcome to the Kingdom Culture Podcast that was created on purpose with a purpose to empower, uplift, and guide others to the center of God's perfect will. Kingdom Culture family, welcome back to the Kingdom Culture Podcast. This week, I wanted to talk about the fact that sometimes we feel like we're in the limbo or that we're doing things so repetitively that we are in a rut or an endless cycle. And this happens when, you feel like you don't have a sense of purpose or you feel lost. I know that before I started my feeling journey, I felt like I was doing the same thing over and over and over and over and over again. That became very tiring and boring very quickly. So usually what I used to do was go to work, come home, drink, and go to sleep. That was literally my lifestyle. And if I didn't do that at home, I was out at the bars or the restaurants, always drinking. And I remember when I decided to change my life because I woke up in a panic, feeling like I was throwing my life away, feeling like I didn't have control of it, feeling like I was going to just keep going and going and going in this endless cycle of feeling, bad, sad, without fulfillment and without anything. So that's why I want to talk about it, right? Because I know how that feels, and it's a very scary feeling, and I don't want you to get stuck in those cycles or those things that, go on with your head, because at that time, my mind also went in its own little road trip, because I would think like, oh hey, I want to do this, and then my mind automatically said, nope, you can't because of X, Y, and Z, or nope, you can't because look at where you're at. what makes you think that you're able to get up and get out of this, right? So there's different things that I've learned to do to be able to know what's triggering me and know how to move past it, right? And so my first point is obviously self-reflection. Self-reflection is an everyday thing that you should do. I know that I sit down and I journal my days, and then I do this monthly as well. So I look at my month and I'm like, okay, what triggered me? What can I work on to be better for next month? What have I done well? What have I been able to let go of? And for the sense of fulfillment, I also look at like, okay, cool. What are new hobbies that I picked up? What are new things that I want to be involved in? What are, new ideas that I have for my life? What are new things that I want to try out, right? Because if you don't do self-reflection, you're not going to know where to go. If you don't know who you are and, what you like, what your passions are, what makes your heart tick, what makes you jump, what makes you the happiest ever, you're not going to know what your purpose is. You're not going to find your fulfillment. Because a lot of people put that on material things or money or status or whatever else. And in reality, hey, you're born without pockets. My mindset mentor said that to me on a call, and I was just amazed because it's true. We are born without anything, and we are going to leave this earth without anything. So the fulfillment part of it is all in here. It starts in here, right? So that's the first thing, right? Allow yourself to sit with yourself so that you know what you want to do, what your passions are, what you want to go after. The way that I do this is I go to breakfast. I love breakfast, or I love being around water. So I go by myself and I sit and I journal and I spend a lot of time just critically thinking about what I want for myself. And that has helped a lot, right? The second point is to dive into your strengths. Now for me, I love to ask my friends, my closest friends, my top 5, hey, what are some strengths that you think I have or that you see or things that I'm good at? And so we have these conversations of diving deep and analyzing each other from a different perspective. And so from that, I'm able to write down lists. And then I start tapping into those strengths, and I see I'm like, okay, cool. Does this make me happy? Or like, do I want to dive deeper into this strength and then make something of it, right? And so when I started doing that, it was really cool because I wasn't even aware of some of the strengths that I had. And my friends weren't aware of some of the strengths that they had. And so we sit down, we journal, we make lists, and we dive into them. So also take action, right? So you have to take action towards what you're writing down. You have to take action towards the things that you might want to pursue. If you're not trying anything new, nothing's going to change. If you're not going out there and saying like, okay, one of my strengths is public speaking. What happens if I start a podcast? Cool, you know what? Let's just do it. If it works out, great. If it doesn't, great. because you're actually trying to figure out and align yourself with your purpose, right? So dive into your strengths and have other people give you feedback on that, right? Because you never know if one of those strengths is going to lead you to your purpose. Point number 3 is to help others. So engaging in acts of kindness and contributing to the well-being of other people is what brings you a sense of fulfillment, because we are humans. We are called to be around each other. We are called to do something bigger than ourselves. We're called to go out there and love and serve and, do big things for other people. And the way that this has worked for me is that I become more grateful. It doesn't mean that I'm better than anybody at any means. It just means that sometimes when we get focused on the wrong things, we get focused on things that we don't have, we forget how blessed we truly are, how much our life already is big and amazing, and we have fulfillment. The truth is that there is nothing in this moment right now that you can add or subtract that can bring more of you out. You're exactly as you need to be. And what you need to focus on is on the good things, on the things that you already have, and be grateful for them. And helping others that might be in a different type of situation than you will bring you into that mindset of gratefulness. Also, always have a heart of servitude. Never expect anything in return. And these things will help you feel fulfilled as well. Go into your community. What are some organizations that you can start, being a part of? I know that I just joined, my husband and I, we went to a gala for a Hispanic based community outreach, and it was so cool to learn about it, and it was so cool to want to get involved and donate and see how we can service and help. So what are some things that might be going on around your community that you can dive into, right? Because the moment that you start to see yourself outside of what you want is the moment that you'll realize that, hey, you know what? It's not all about me. There's other people out here that need more help than me. And so that will slowly start to align you with your purpose, because through that, you'll be able to find what you want to do. Like, do you love helping others? For me, for instance, I know that healing and getting over some emotional traumas was a big thing for me. So this is why Kingdom Culture was created, to help other people, to uplift them, to help them be better, and for them to know, like, hey, there is a better way for you to deal with these things. And from that, I'm like, okay, cool. I'm just going to throw something together and do a podcast and see what happens. But it brings me so much joy. I feel like I'm fulfilled. I feel like I'm in purpose. And it's amazing because there's nothing else that, brings me this much joy. And my fourth and final thought is, as you guys know, I'm a woman of faith. So when I was first going through my healing journey with him, I dove deep into prayer and meditation, and realizing that I have dreams and I have goals and aspirations that I plan to fulfill. So when I sit in prayer with the Lord, it's really cool to experience him in this way, because I get to have new inspiration, new ideas, new everything. And I don't have to worry about it, because I know that no matter what happens, everything will work out how it is meant to. And so for a long time, I used to just overthink and overplan and not take any action, because I was so scared that my plans were not going to come true, or that I was going to fail from it. But I've learned to surrender all of these emotions and realize, like, hey, you know what? You trying new things and finding, that one thing maybe is not as important to you as you thought, or maybe it doesn't work out, is okay. And with my faith, the Lord has shown me, like, no matter what happens, God has my back. God will align me every single time. And so the coolest thing is that I go into prayer and I get to see, myself, and I get to feel empowered, and I get to feel be filled with courage and wisdom to carry out my ministry, right? So, if you're not a person of faith, you can start meditating and thinking about these things and sitting with yourself so that you understand who you are and what you're called to be and called to do, right? And with that, though, as I finish this episode, I'm going to leave you with a Bible verse. I haven't done this in a little while, and I thought it was perfect because I found one that talks about our purpose and being fully centered on what the purpose of our lives with God is. So it is found in Jeremiah 29:11. For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans for welfare and not for evil, to give you a future and a hope. This verse emphasizes the idea that God has a plan for each and every person. And it's a plan that is filled with hope and purpose. It encourages individuals to trust in God's design for their lives, even when they feel uncertain about the plan ahead. So for a long time, I was like stopping myself from going after these big things because I was so afraid. But I know that the Lord will always, always work for my utmost good and His utmost glory. So don't be scared. Start thinking about, the things that bring you so much joy when you do them. What brings you energy after you do something, right? And start planning your life on those things. Anyway, I hope that you guys have an amazing night, and that you remember that I love you, but the Lord loves you more. Always, always, always.